It is now Wednesday, May 14th, 2014, overlooking Halifax. And at this time of the year, the trees should already be really deep and dark green and filled. And they're not looking very good. This is like, I've never seen it take this long for the trees to get leaves on them. And why I'm doing this report, because I'm going to have a look at the photos and videos that I have last year and the year before out of the same window here. And right now, this year, the trees are not looking good. If you've been following my reports last year and the year before at chemtrailsinoursskies.wordpress.com, you will know that there's a really big problem with the trees and plants dying and mutating since Fukushima. And I mean, there was problems with trees before, but they were never like that. Fukushima has really done something to this planet. And now, because there's so much debris in the air from the radiation, basically it causes overcast weather in Halifax. We're lucky if we get sunny days, once a month, that lasts all day. It's been like, this is like really rare that we get a sunny day now. It's always overcast and cloudy, and that's because there's so much debris and material in the atmosphere. It causes a condensation, or not condensation. It causes hydrogen, which produces water, to combine with particles of dirt in the air, which is the radiation, and it's causing to have overcast weather all the time. So if you go to my website, the Fukushima radiation tree reports.wordpress.com, you're going to see close-ups of the trees and the condition of the bark, which is all cracking, and the city's been really busy this year going around and cutting down all the broken trees and all the branches that have lost their bark and that are dying. And the situation is not looking good at all. The bark is no longer black; it's now like almost white, and it's got this coating on it that looks like paint. So I'm just doing this video right here for reference to show you what it looks like May 14th in Halifax, where you're supposed to have all of these green leaves already, and we don't have any green leaves. There's no green leaves almost anywhere. Look. Everywhere you look, trees haven't got any leaves. I see them budding, but these trees have been budding for 2 months. I have pictures 2 months ago that I did showing that the trees were actually, started budding 2 months ago. And when they bud, they usually have leaves within a day or two. And, there's no leaves yet. And this is like, the middle of May. So, the world is screwed because of all the corporate criminals and people doing nothing and being stupid and being dumbed down by television, and all these Hollywood movies and everything else has completely desensitized people to the natural world and reality and what really matters. And I'm just watching the whole world becoming full of really strange people, because the less common sense a person has, the stranger they get. And we got a world full of strangers, and what they're doing is really strange. Fukushima is now causing mutations in plants and in grocery food. You can go to grocery stores now, you can start seeing really weird things happening to food. So all I have to say is that the food's mutating because the people's brains got mutated long ago. And you know what? I'm an old guy, but you're all going to regret for not doing anything to save our planet, not using any common sense anymore, letting the corporate criminals take over your governments and throwing out common law and common sense. And without any truth in society, well, one day they're going to have to face the truth that they've done something wrong and they've pretty well killed the planet. But I told people, if you don't have a healthy tree of life growing, you won't have a life. And a healthy tree of life can only grow from the seeds of truth. And if you don't plant any seeds of truth in your brain and in other people's brains, and you don't contribute to the good of this planet, you're going to be part of the problem. And the birds are dying, falling out of the sky all over the world. The dolphins are dying, the whales are dying. All over the planet, everything's dying. Fukushima is killing the Pacific Ocean. It's spewing out radiation out of control, nonstop, all over the planet. And Fukushima is billions of times worse than every nuclear bomb combined that's ever been blown up in this world. Nuclear bombs burn very clean. When a nuclear power plant goes down into fission, which is what happened in China, Japan, 3 of the reactors are in fission. When you go into fission, you're burning very, 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 very dirty radiation, and it's unleashing plutonium and cesium and all kinds of stuff. A Geiger counter isn't even going to come close to detecting all the pollutants from the radiation that's coming out of Japan. And, you know, they got their stupid stories talking about building number 4 and the rods, you know, possibly catching on fire and stuff like that. Don't worry about number 4. Think about the other 3 reactors that have disappeared, that have gone down into the bedrock. And ask yourself, why did they build Fukushima right over a river and bury the river underneath it? And they said that they diverted the river. Yeah, they diverted underneath the plant. So now with the cores burnt through, they're sitting on the bedrock, and you got a huge river going through, just feeding the Pacific Ocean with nonstop radiation. Because if you know anything about radioactive you know, fission, it's a nuclear fire that can never go out. Water doesn't put it out. Nothing puts it out. It just keeps burning. And it's extremely hot. And there's been videos shown that the ocean up by China, up by Japan, the thing was actually boiling and steaming. The situation in Japan is absolutely deadly for the planet. And Japan has made it, the government of Japan has made it illegal for anyone now for the last year and a half to report anything about the situation in Japan, because if you do, you go to prison for 10 years. So what Japan has done is they're completely irresponsible, and they're not telling the world anything about what's happening in Japan, and they're not allowing anybody from the rest of the world to come in and contribute their expertise to try to resolve this problem. But you know what, guys? Fukushima means fuck you, F you. You know the 2 first letters? Well, they really F you, Shima. And Shima is, I guess, is their word for the whole planet. So, you know what? That's what you get when you're an old guy and you know the difference between insanity and sanity. Truth is absolute, which is sanity, and the avoidance of truth is insanity, and that's absolute. And the world has absolutely gone insane over the power of money. Everyone's souls have been bought. And, you know, believe in Satan, believe in whatever you want. It doesn't really matter what you believe in. There's good and bad. There's sanity and insanity. And when I look at the condition of all the trees everywhere in this town, when I go and do close-ups, and you can see all my videos and you can see my photos, the situation is like, to me, it's over. Because you did nothing to speak up when you had a chance. You did nothing to feed your mind with you know, food that was grown from the seeds of truth, so that you would have a healthy tree of life, which is your body, and it would be your roots would be based on solid foundation of healthy soil that was, you know, filled with seeds of truth. But you know what? You don't even know the meaning of the word truth, and you haven't fed yourself any truth your whole life probably. And you know, you've been playing your games with your one-dimensional screens, and that creates a one-dimensional mind that has no depth. You have no intellect, and you're responsible for, you know, this destruction of our planet. So enjoy your poison food and your GMOs and your fluoride and your vaccines and, you know, the HIV virus that was done by the government. You know, listen, you've been lied to your whole life because you're all a bunch of insane criminals that lie to each other and you believe all your own lies. I'll tell you, boy, that's a pretty bad situation in this world. You go ahead and keep ignoring me and keep attacking me, but you know what? At least I had a life because I had a conscience and I cared about people and I cared about things. And being a caring human being, no matter how much evil and insanity I see, being a caring human being has given me a wonderful side to my life that I've seen of humanity, what's left of it. But you have no future because you're not doing anything to stop watching your stupid entertainment. You're being dumbed down by social engineering, and you're letting the planet down. You're letting everything die. It's going to get a lot worse because you haven't stopped it. And these idiots want to try to start a third world war. And they're going to tell us it was a nuclear one so they can use that as the excuse for all the radiation killing the planet. And, well, the Russians said, well, we're not playing that game. The Russians were supposed to be controlled by the New World Order, and they were supposed to pretend that they nuked a city or something. You know, these guys are still trying to set off nukes in the world because they want to use the nukes as the excuse to hide all their depleted uranium they've unleashed on Iraq, on Syria, on Libya, all the mass genocides going on. Al-Qaeda is run by the same people, which is Zionism, which is the Rothschild empire of banksters and criminals. And Zionism has nothing to do with Jews. And you've been lied to about everything. I mean everything. Everything. Israel always had Jews living in it. And then the Zionists came in, and they're not Jews. They're just insane. Go learn what's really happening. Zionism was created by Rothschild. Go read the protocols of the learned elders of Zion and go see their plan, their insane plan to take control of the world. And you know what? When you take control of the money, you can take control of everything else. And you wonder why the whole world is messed up is because they've had an unlimited supply of cash to do whatever they want. The world is done, guys. You did nothing to stop it. Unlike me, I've been trying all my life, but you think I'm crazy. Yeah, okay. This is a true soldier speaking. Goodbye.